Hey guys, thanks for chiming in today. My name is Derek Roush with VocalPoint Consulting, and welcome to What's the Point, where our goal is to provide you, the enterprise business, with valuable information that you can actually use concerning unified communications, cloud services, and contact center software. Today we're going to have a discussion with Mike Costello, who is the Senior Territory Channel Manager over at Jive. And Mike's going to be talking with us a little bit about Jive's go-to-market strategy, where they fit in the industry today in a really crowded space of unified communications providers. And we'll talk through the whole collaborative products that Jive has with LogMeIn and GoToMeeting, right? So I hope you guys will stick around for the conversation. Should be a really good one. And look, if you like the content that we're providing to you, then do us a favor, click on that subscription link below or the chime bell, and we'll try to continue to provide you with fresh material concerning unified communications, contact center, and cloud services. So let's get right to it and welcome Mike Costello from Jive. Mike Costello from Jive. I want to basically jump into a conversation with you, Mike, and talk a little bit about Jive. And maybe also if you can give us kind of that background of, say, Jive and then LogMeIn and the whole GoToMeeting, how all that collaboration is happening today, what that looks like going forward. So give us the 10,000 foot view today of what Jive looks like, and then maybe tell us a little bit about how you guys are separating yourself from so much competition out there in the market.
Sure. First off, Derek, thank you for inviting me to do this presentation with you today. We really appreciate the opportunity. From a 10,000 foot view, where is Jive today and where we're headed? Right now we're a fully baked, UCaaS provider. We provide the voice piece, the collaboration piece. So today that's kind of where we're at. GoToMeeting, Jive, and a nice little bundled offering, integrated into one pane of glass, so to say. And where we're headed is just building out more and more integrations with maybe Outlook or Slack for instant messaging, and really working to get all of your communication into one place where you can go and you can do your SMS, your video, your voice, your instant messaging, your email, all in one place. I think that's where we're headed, Derek.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about the background of Jive, and then we've got all these kind of collaborative products that are coming together, right, with LogMeIn and GoToMeeting. And so I know a lot of MSPs per se may know who LogMeIn is. And a lot of other people know from a collaboration standpoint who GoToMeeting is. And then of course from the UCaaS perspective, a lot of guys know who Jive is. So where does that product set all fit together today? And kind of, what's the roadmap of that?
Sure. So, before we get there, I think it's important to understand a little history of Jive and how we became part of the LogMeIn family. So just a quick little background. I've been with Jive for about 6.5 years now, prior to the LogMeIn acquisition, which occurred in April of 2018. So Jive started out as a privately funded, private UCaaS provider. And one of our key differentiators is it's our own platform. As you know, there's a lot of competition in the space.
Right.
I always like to use a little analogy. Let's say 100 UCaaS providers out there. Of those 100, 93 of them are using the same platform, right? There's only a handful of platforms out there that we all use. Jive is a proprietary platform. We built it, asterisk space, a long time ago. And so that's something that's a little different with us, is that we built this. It's our product. We're not licensing it from somebody else. it differentiates us from a lot of our competitors. So, way back when Jive, a little company, when I started, I think I was employee like number 130 or something like that. Today, the Jive side has about 800 employees, logging in about 3,500 worldwide. So back in April of 2018, Login purchased Jive for that voice piece, which they did not have. So with the Login being a collaboration powerhouse, and with Jive being a hosted powerhouse, it was a natural fit. You put the two companies together, and now we're a true UCaaS provider worldwide. We have offices in Germany, Australia, Ireland, obviously US, Brazil. So we're a worldwide organization providing world-class UCaaS products and services.
So then where do you see Jive fitting right now in the marketplace?
Sure. I think we're one of the top 3 UCaaS providers out there. If you're looking for a true UCaaS offering, you have to look at Jive. If you look at the Gartner's grids and all that, we're on the leader side of the board with GoToMeeting, and then we're a challenger, I believe, with Jive. So we're in the mix. We're one of the top 3 out there. Derek, I would think so.
Okay, cool. So you mentioned kind of the integration standpoint. A lot of guys are looking to integrate, different applications and all. What are you guys doing from an integration standpoint? You mentioned a little bit about Slack. Kind of is that a roadmap, and what other integrations do you have on the roadmap?
Sure. We have a whole portfolio of integrations, and I'll just name a few. We have Salesforce, Redtail, Zoho, Teams, Office 365. We have Purple Cloud. We have Curve Dental. We integrate with Curve Dental. So we integrate with a variety of different CRMs. Some vertical specific. We have Chrome integrations. So let's say you have a CRM that we don't work with. If you can access it via some sort of browser base, via Chrome, then we can do some really nice things, screen pops and things like that. So I would say we probably have about 15 to 20 different integrations with CRMs out there.
Awesome. And so what about contact center? A lot of guys, especially, contact centers that we deal with these days, we're seeing a lot of them having to, go through this whole paradigm shift of working from home. And I know from a UCaaS perspective, you guys can handle that just fine in a Web 2.0 browser-based, atmosphere. But when it comes to contact centers moving to home-based models, that's a little bit different. So are there integrations that you have with certain contact centers out there today, or where do you guys fit in that market?
Sure. So we have contact center functionality built into our feature set. One thing about Jive is that we're all inclusive. So, a lot of my competitors, they'll have a couple different seat types. Maybe you have a premium seat and a basic seat or whatever. We really have, we do have a low use seat, but really our standard seat is all inclusive of all of our features. So the functionality of contact center is built in. You can have a couple different ring strategies. You can have positioning and announcements. The only thing we would charge extra for on our contact center pieces if you wanted some visibility or if you wanted real-time analytics, right? So once again, it's our own platform that we built. So we also built our own contact center functionality in it and our own reports and things of that sort. Now we do have a direct integration within Contact for some higher level contact center. And we would just work hand in hand within Contact. It would be Jive branded and Jive build, but it is an in-contact product. So we have 2 different. We have what we call Support Center, Jive built. We have our relationship with in-contact. You need some, some high-level contact solution.
Okay, cool. So from the perspective of moving forward, do you see some of those products like I know you've got the GoToConnect, which is really kind of the Jive Web 2.0, or WebRTC version, right, of a soft phone. So how does GoToMeeting and all fit together? And is that something that's going to, from a roadmap perspective, continue to evolve and kind of come into that, what we're talking about, like that single pane of glass?
Sure. So GoToConnect is the soft phone, and it's where I think the product is headed. So this is GoToConnect. This is my GoToConnect, and this is where I think Jive is headed. We're trying to create a space where you can go and have all your communication platforms at your fingertips, all in one spot. So for example, over here on the left-hand side, you have your little home screen. Here you can make and receive phone calls. So if a phone call comes in, I'll have a little notification pane pop down here. It'll tell me that an incoming call. I can dial folks up, transfer calls, all that. If I get an incoming call, I'll have another little that'll pop up with a couple different options. Okay. Here I can SMS people, so I can text you, text me back right from here, right from my work number. Okay, this is my work number. Currently we have two products, two bundled products, I should say. We have what's called GoToConnect, which is what we're looking at here. And then we also have Connect Bundle, which is very similar. And the reason I bring that up is because, as you notice, the icons on the left, depending on which product you have, GoToConnect or the Connect Bundle, that'll dictate whether or not you have this little movie camera. If you have GoToConnect, you'll have the movie camera. If you have Connect Bundle, you'll actually have a GoToMeeting icon, which when you click that, it'll launch into your GoToMeeting. This will start your GoToMeeting right from here. So if I click that, so it'll actually open up the GoToMeeting right in the same pane. So I won't open a new tab or anything like that. I can start my meeting right from here and have all my attendees, I would view them right from here. I don't have to go to any other screen. Here's your voicemail. Down you have your contacts and your activity. One thing I'll point out, you'll notice over here you can have presence also, right? Whomever you choose within your PBX. They're not on their phone, red they are, right? You can also park calls, okay? And then as we continue to develop, maybe you'll have a Slack integration here. If you have a contact center, you'll have some agent icons here for the contact center functionality and the different tasks within the contact center. So this will continue to evolve as we build out new integrations with, like I said, Slack or whatever, and whatever else we decide to do. The nice thing is once again, it's our own platform, so we feel as though we're very agile and we can make changes, when the market, asks us to. So being our own platform and being agile, I think, is important.
Cool. Well, I really think it's a slick product, and I think you guys are on the right path when it comes to that collaboration piece, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants. Is that we talked about it years ago, back in the day, even when I was at Avaya, we talked about, that whole unified communications, but nobody was really doing it. And still today, I mean, I think a lot of, unified communications providers are trying to still figure that out to get into that single pane of glass. So it's interesting to see the, evolution of the product set and where it's going these days.
And that's really the end goal, is to have everything in one spot, all your communication formats. Like I said, instant messaging is on the roadmap, Slack integration. We have Outlook integration, so maybe one day you'll have your access to your email from here. So we're looking at all avenues and all your different communication methods and working to make it just a single place where you can go to access all of it.
So can customer pull their contacts into this platform and be able to see all them within the platform?
Yeah, absolutely. If I can. So we have an Outlook integration, and when you integrate it with your Outlook, it'll actually pull the contacts from your Outlook into the GoToConnect contact section so that you can, click the dial and things of that sort. So absolutely.
Cool. So what are the other things you think that set Jive apart in the industry? What are your differentiators out there today?
Sure. So, one of the things that I like to bring up whenever I'm doing a demo or speaking to a partner or whatever that I feel is pretty important is reliability. Reliability is kind of king. If your phones don't work, it doesn't really matter how neat your interface is or what kind of integrations you have and things like that. Reliability is kind of the most important thing. So with Jive, last year we had a 99.86 uptime. We haven't had a major outage since October of 2015. So that's going on 5 years. So reliability is king, and that's something that we work on every day. Once again, it's our own platform. We have about 70 developers at any time working on the platform, whether it be integrations or working on the network or whatnot. We have people that every day, that's all they're doing is working on Jive. We have 7 data centers in the U.S., fully meshed, fully mirrored. We have a data center in Mexico. We have a data center in Brazil, Australia, and the UK. So reliability is king. Nothing else really matters. So I think that's first and foremost. The second is simplicity. I like to say we like to give power back to the people. And I say that because, if you have a premise-based phone system and you want to make a move out or change, you have to call your phone guy. And the phone guy comes in, or girl, the phone person comes in, and they spend 20 minutes on your site changing a voicemail box or whatnot. Next thing you know, you get an invoice for $150, right? Well, our administrative platform portal is laid out very nice, very intuitive. Cool. So this is basically your PBX in the cloud, right? And one thing that's nice is that it's very well laid out. Even if you're not a telephone person, or if you're not technically minded, you could go through here and have to spend a little bit of time and of course getting a little training from somebody. We have a whole setup team that can help you with that. You could navigate and make easy changes through here. For example, maybe you have multiple locations and you have your main phone number and maybe one of your locations is closed for the day. You could just come in here, you could click on it. Once again, I only have one number, so let me go over to this one. No phone numbers there. I'll go back to this one. So you could go in here, and if I want to, I can just reroute this to another location. I just click on the phone number. I can reroute it anywhere I want. All right? And save. So now instead of going to Terry, it's going to Lucy, right? So making moves, adds, and changes are simple. You'll notice down here, you have your call queues. We spoke a little bit about contact center and things of that sort. Here's your call queues. For example, I have an operator call queue of a couple people. You'll see 4 people in my operator queue. So when a call comes in, I could have it go through about 5 different strategies. Okay. Down here, I can have maybe a pre-call announcement. I can have a wrap-up time where, once I'm done with the call, we'll give them X amount of time to maybe file a file or do an email or whatever. So in this case, we got a 1.5-minute wrap-up time until they get their next call. Over here, I can set my positioning announcement, which will tell the caller in queue what position in line they are and approximately how long they'll be on hold, right? If you have someone that's in multiple contact center queues, you can weight the queues so that if you have, so that person that's in multiple queues will get the call with the higher weight first, right? So you can set all that up here. Okay. That's your contact center. You can have ring groups. And all this is set up. One thing I'd like to show you here is our dial plans, which we've actually won awards at channel partners for this. So you'll notice if I have a dial plan here, I'll just put VocalPoint, for example. Well, then you'll notice it gives me a couple templates, right? I'll just start with a blank one. Okay. Here's your dial plan. This is your call flow. People really like this because they find it to be very simple, very easy to come up with their call flow, kind of like an old Visio diagram from way back in the day, right? So call comes in. You know, if you wanted to, you could actually have a fax. You can detect a fax. You could have one number, and you could have people fax and call you on that one number. Okay? So the detect fax would actually send it to, let's say, someone's email address. Show up as a PDF file in their email. Okay, I'll take that out though. I always like to start with schedules. Okay, so you'll notice I have regular business hours. Just to show you where that is, that's over here. There we go. Okay. For those of us that have been doing this a while, this is I call this the new night button. You know, back in the old days with the premise-based, the last person to leave the office hits the night button, and that changes the way the phone behaves.
Right.
This is the night button, right? Except for now, it's automatic. You set your night up, your button up by a schedule. It's not really a button. Very simple, right? Whatever your hours are, okay, whatever it may be. That's your business hours. Now you have a schedule built. Regular business hours. Maybe during business hours, you want to go to automated attended. After hours, you'll have it go to automated attended also. Maybe, you know, a different message, of course. Hey, you reached after hours. If this is an emergency, please press 1. Once again, this is just for example. Maybe you can have an on-call person or whatever. All right. Get rid of that again. Okay. Then you can just build it out from there. We have some customers, Derek, that, you know, this is 5 pages long, right?
Right.
Options. So it could be as sophisticated as it needs to be, as you want it to be, or it could be as simple as you know, as simple as possible. So I mean, it could be not even need a dial plan, or you just have, you know, hey, somebody calls, send it to them. Just get rid of a couple things here. Somebody calls my DID number, send it to my phone.
Yeah, and I love this because, you know, we work with a lot of multi-location clients, and especially if you're working with clients that are in, say, doing a lot of M&A, they're buying new locations or adding new services. It makes it so easy to go in and make those changes yourself rather than having to call your vendor and wait for somebody to, you know, answer a support line or whatever and then make that change for you. You know, this is just so intuitive. It's great.
Exactly. And you know, as if you're, you know, I work primarily with partners, and with the partners, their customer's going to call that partner if they need to make, you know, if they have a question or whatever. And the partners really
Right.
like the fact that, you know, with authority, of course, they can log into their customer's PBX and make a change for them.
Right.
It's simple to make that change, and the process is easy. You just log into the PBX, and so a lot of our partners really like the fact that, one, they can have authority to the PBX as long as we can box it, and two, we've laid it out simply enough where you don't have to have a telephony background of 10 years to be able to make these changes. We do a lot of school districts across the nation, and we have operators at a school district making these changes, and they don't have any telephony background. So we feel like we've done a good job of setting it up to be very simple, very intuitive, to allow just about anyone the ability to make some, you know, moves as and changes on their own behalf. Like I said earlier, you know, we're giving power back to the people. You know, you don't have to call your phone person out anymore.
Yeah, I would agree. So Mike, is there anything else that you feel that's a big differentiator for Jive out there today, or the LogMeIn brand? What else do you want to maybe leave off with today?
Sure. So we've touched on reliability, and affordability or pricing is always important. And look, we're very competitive. It's a competitive space out there, so we're right in line with everyone else. So you have your reliability, you have your affordability. One thing that I'll touch base on is security. Security is always at the forefront of everyone's mind, and with the voice piece, the Jive or the GoToConnect, we can encrypt calls from our data center to the desktop, right? So we can make sure that once they're on the Jive network, that call is encrypted, okay? And then with GoToMeeting, also, we have 3 different levels of encryption to ensure that your call is not your GoToMeeting, your video conference call is not going to be intruded upon or anything like that. So we take security very seriously, and we have a lot of things in place to ensure that your calls are private, your conferences are private. Features like once everybody's in a meeting, you can lock the meeting down so everyone else can join. You have a unique access code to each of your meetings, so you don't continue using the same one over and over again. Now you can, right? Like for example, I do. I use the same, GoToMeet.me, M Costello FL.
Right.
Right. Anybody can join my meeting. It doesn't matter, but some people want that to be secure. If they're talking about secure things, they can have a unique URL to join their meeting, and then they can lock that meeting once everyone that's supposed to be there is there. So security is very important, right? That, liability, affordability, and the fact that we're all inclusive, with the exception of some contact center stuff. But we don't have 5 different seat levels. I've got 1 seat, right? And all the features come with that 1 seat. So we have the mobile app, the soft phone, we have the video conferencing. I think we're a great solution for any UCaaS needs, enterprise or small to medium business.
So I think that's a great differentiator right there too, is the fact that, a lot of the unified communications providers out there today, it's, I order a seat, then they go, okay, well, I need mobility. Well, that's an extra charge. Or, I need a soft phone, that's an extra charge. And you get all these add-on charges, and you end up paying $35, $45 a seat, and then it becomes not really cost, or it becomes cost prohibitive and not really cost competitive.
And that's something that we speak a lot about, is the fact that my price includes everything. So let's say my price, just for example, my average price, let's just say, is $19.95, right? Just for example. That includes everything. Once again, it includes contact center functionality, not the dashboard, or if you wanted to see in-depth contact center analytics, that's extra. We can go there another day.
Right.
It includes the functionality. It includes the soft phone to GoToConnect, which I showed you a moment ago. It includes the mobile app, right? It includes GoToMeeting or GoToConnect, same platform, but so it includes everything. Ring groups, multiple different types of hold music for different lines, everything. A lot of the features we didn't really touch in today, Derek, but keeping it 50,000 feet. But yeah, right? So I'm not going to nickel and dime you. If you want voicemail to email, no problem. If you want 27 automated attendants in your dial plan, that's no problem, right? So, and like you said, a lot of my competitors, $9.95 for an automated attendant, 50 cents for voicemail to email. We don't do that. When I give you a quote, it includes my taxes and everything. So when you see my quote, that's bill, right? Unless you have some toll frees or something like that. But we pride ourselves in being all-inclusive and providing a quote that's accurate. It's important because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, this is great. I really appreciate it, Mike. I mean, I think this was really good. Hopefully this gives some of our, customers and prospective customers, kind of that 10,000 foot view of who Jive is and what the roadmap looks like. And, hopefully if clients, are trying to figure it all out, they'll give us a call and we can engage you guys and, try to figure out a good solution for them.
Yep. And like I said, Derek, I appreciate the opportunity. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me at any time, and hopefully you liked what you saw today.
Yeah, this was awesome, Mike. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us today. And
Well, Derek, I appreciate that. And once again, thank you so much for the opportunity. It was my pleasure.
No problem. Hey, thanks again for joining today, guys. I hope this conversation with Mike Costello over at Jive was valuable for you. And again, if you've got questions about unified communications, contact center, or even cloud services in general, give us a call here at VocalPoint Consulting. You can reach us at the 800 number here above me, or you can always reach out to us on our website. We'd love to talk with you and see if we can help you out in getting from point A to point B, or maybe developing that new cloud strategy. So thanks again for chiming in. Have a great day.